conference tournament in 2 weeks. Tip from the Levy Center is at 8 p.m. A slow night in the top 25 as well. Only 2 contests featuring ranked squads. Currently taking place in Big Ten action. Number 3 Purdue welcomes Rutgers to West Lafayette. The Boilermakers are looking to rebound after a surprising road loss to Ohio State that snapped the 9-game winning streak. They seem to be doing just fine with that task, dominating the Scarlet Knights 77-43, 11 minutes to play in regulation. Zach Edey, 25 points and 7 rebounds on 7 of 8 shooting, and a perfect 11 for 11 from the free throw line. Later tonight, tipping off at 8 p.m., 21st-ranked Washington State travels to Tucson to take on number 4 Arizona in Pac-12 play. Both teams riding solid win streaks. Cougars have won 7 straight, while the Wildcats have posted victories in their last 6. Wazoo going for the season sweep tonight, having beat the Cats by 3 back on January 13th in Pullman. This game right now could help determine first place in the league. Arizona currently leading by half a game over the Cougars. Check in on some former Zags currently in the NBA. In Cleveland, Jalen Suggs and the Orlando Magic locking horns with the Cavs. 64-62, Orlando on top. Jalen with 7 points and 3 assists in that contest. Andrew Nembhard and the Pacers at home taking on Detroit as well. Nembhard in the starting lineup tonight, 8 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 rebounds as the Pacers lead at 76-53 as they begin the third quarter. Toronto Raptors, including Kelly Olynyk, welcoming in the Brooklyn Nets for an Eastern Conference clash. Kelly with 4 points off the bench. Toronto leads at 61-57. With your scoreboard update, I'm Christian Heimel. Gonzaga in the Rose City tonight looking for the season sweep over the Pilots. Pre-game coverage continues in 2 minutes. This is Gonzaga men's basketball from Learfield.
We care about your safety. If you need to break ground on a new outdoor project, be aware that buried electric and natural gas lines can be anywhere. It's the law to call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig. Spray paint white lines showing your dig zone, and a crew will mark the utility lines. Mark accuracy zone is within 2 feet of the mark, so always hand dig to expose the line first. Call 811 before you dig. The service is free for residential customers. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Gonzaga completes the season sweep of Portland, 86-65, the final score here tonight at the Chiles Center. Numerica Credit Union, money answers for people who know Gonzaga does in fact exist. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card offered only at Numerica, federally insured by NCAA. We take a look at the final statistics from tonight's game. Again, Graham Ike's 20 points, leads Gonzaga offensively. 14 rebounds, also leads the Zags. Graham's 14 boards ties a Gonzaga career high. His best in Wyoming was 18, but 20 points and a season high tying 14 rebounds to lead the way. Nolan Hickman had 19 points. He was 7 of 12 from the field. Started 0 of 3 from behind the three-point line, and then made 4 of his next 5 on his way to 19 points. 13 each for Anton Watson and Ben Gregg. You got 8 points out of Ryan Nembhard tonight, 7 assists, no turnovers. Dusty Stromer finished with 7. Braden Huff had 4 points tonight. Luka Krajinovic came in and gave the Bulldogs 2 points in 6+ minutes of action. And Mo, when we look at these individual numbers, I mean, obviously there are the 3 or 4 that really stand out to you. I want to talk about Luka for a second. That's a pretty impressive. You look at that and you say, he only played 6 minutes, but he played 4.5 of those in the first half. He made that really nice defensive play on the fast break.
And then he led the fast break that led to a 3, but he was the first outlet pass to it. His minutes were good, and I think the coaches are starting to, they obviously notice it, but started to understand, you can't, it's not always about how you, score the basketball. When you're in with your unit as a second unit guy, do you make plus minus? Does it elevate the squad? And he had a great end of the half minutes, so you're exactly right. He's looked good, and I've talked about it a couple times. His minutes, every time he goes in, I don't feel like there is a drop-off defensively. I think he's a capable shooter. It's hard to go, you get one shot a night. You know what I mean? It's hard to judge off that, but I don't think he's a guy that you can completely leave open, so it won't hamper you on the offensive end. So I've been impressed with him because it wasn't easy at the start when he wasn't getting much time. Then he had this broken hand, and now he's figured out a way to, like we've said, steal 6 to 8 minutes a night. So, Nolan and Ryan don't have to play 40. They can play 33. and all is well. So it was good.
The Bulldogs get solid performances out of the bench today. 35 out of 69, 51% shooting from the field. Meanwhile, Portland is led by Tyler Robertson's 18. The Zags hold the Pilots to 37%. We're going to take a quick break. We'll visit with Dusty Stromer right after this timeout. Zags head home 11-2 in West Coast Conference play, 21-6 overall. Back right after this, listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from their field.
Support Gonzaga men's basketball through NIL. Zags Collective is the leading NIL collective supporting Zags student athletes through name, image, and likeness. Zags Collective creates opportunities for student athletes to engage with the community and grow their brand. Plus, you get access to autograph sessions, exclusive events, and more. Become a member today. Go to zagscollective.com and get started.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
Zags win 86-65 in Portland. They complete the season sweep of the Pilots, pick up their 11th win in 13 WCC games. Dusty Stromer out of the locker room to talk about a Bulldog win. And, hey, nice work tonight, Dusty. And we kind of talk about, man, there's, we got, 3 games coming up and kind of what everybody's, been talking about and thinking about. You guys had to come in here and play a basketball game tonight.
Yes,
How'd you feel like you guys delivered?
I think we played great. These aren't easy to come on the road and get these done no matter who we're playing. So I think it takes a lot of maturity from our guys to come in here and get the win. But I think we're really excited about this one on Saturday. I think we have a lot to prove to everyone and ourselves. And so, we're excited about this one.
This has been kind of an exciting team. Sometimes you go into a season, all right, we know all our guys. We know exactly how everybody's going to be. We know all the roles.
Totally.
This is a new group. People keep forgetting, like, man, there are 8 new guys on the roster and there's stuff going on. It feels like you guys are starting to peak. How do you feel?
No, I think you said it exactly right. I think it's a new group of guys. I think with any new group, it takes a while to, mesh and get cooking, but I think we're starting to get it, and we're starting to come along. So,
how about you? We were talking about a little bit off there. I mean, just being a freshman and trying to get used to this level and the responsibilities.
No, I'm looking at it as a blessing to even be out on that floor and take the responsibility upon myself to just do everything I can and play as hard as I can. But it's been an awesome learning experience, and it's been really exciting. And
I would imagine probably asked to do maybe some different things and a few more things than you did in high school.
Yeah. No, totally. I think one of the main ones is crashing the boards every time. In high school, it's not really a thing, and you get to college, you got to crash those boards. So I think that's one of the main things.
How are you guys feeling as we approach this? Like, it's so interesting to me. I mean, we're 21-6, 11-2 in league, and you kind of get a little bit of this, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. But how are you guys feeling internally as we get ready to wrap up the regular season?
We're in a great spot. We're in a great spot. Practices look really good. The energy's always high. We're always competing. And I think this season especially gives us that chip on our shoulder going into these last couple of games, and I think that's exciting for us.
And Dustin, my last one for you, coming off the bench. What has kind of changed for you? Mo and I have talked about it a few times. Maybe an opportunity to just kind of see it a little bit, understand it a little bit. How has it been for you?
100%. I think I'm looking at it as exactly what you said, being able to sit and see what's going on the floor, see how defenses are guarding, and then get in there and give as much energy as I can. So yeah, it's been cool.
All right. Hey, Dusty, thanks for coming out. Appreciate
sir.
it.
Thank
Great to
you.
see you.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Dusty Stromer, 7 points tonight, 4 rebounds as well as he helps the Bulldogs come into Portland and knock off the Pilots by the final score of 86-65. So the Bulldogs head back 11-2, and again we've got Santa Clara on Saturday night at home, and then we'll hit the road for San Francisco and St. Mary's to wrap up the regular season. So one more game left at the McCarthy Athletic Center this season is coming up on Saturday night as the Bulldogs will play host to the Broncos. So a nice game for Dusty. Everybody who got in tonight did some nice work for the Zags, who improved 21-6, 11-2 in West Coast Conference play. Still 2 games behind St. Mary's with 3 to go. Santa Clara game is going to tip at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So we've got pregame coverage for you starting at 6:30 on the network to get you going and get you prepared for the Zags and the Broncos, as Gonzaga will try to avenge the loss at the hands of Santa Clara that came back at the Levy Center in January. So if you're on the network, it is time to say so long. If you're listening on 1510 KGA 103.5 The Game, please stick around. There's more post-game coverage coming your way after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog Basketball from Learfield.
On the Gonzaga Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Gonzaga Bulldogs Basketball. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Gonzaga Sports Network.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you play the lottery, you are supporting education across Washington. Preschool and post-high school. You're providing opportunities to the leaders of tomorrow and a chance at higher learning for those wanting more. You're supporting ABCs and PhDs, priming the next finger paint proteges, and providing tuition for undergrad overachievers. We know today's spelling bee superstars and soon-to-be CEOs appreciate you, and we do too. Thanks for playing.
When you play, all of Washington wins. Must be 18 or older to purchase.
We are back on the post-game show. Gonzaga winner 86-65, the final score. Well, hey, Zag fans, the Xfinity 10G network, get the fastest internet with faster speeds rolling out every day. Enjoy a reliable connection so everyone can be online at once, even during peak hours. Introducing the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. We continue to look at our statistics, and the Bulldogs dominate the glass tonight, 50-29, plus 21. 14 from Graham Ike. We talked about that being a problem for Portland, and it was again tonight. Mo, the Bulldogs did a great job of rebounding the basketball.
Yeah, it was one of the keys of the game, just establish inside and then dominate the glass. They were plus 2.5 on the season, Portland, and they just don't have any size and athleticism to match ours, and our guys did a good job of handling that, especially the 14 offensive rebounds. It's going to be imperative that we win those battles in the 3 games coming up. I mean, in my mind, we have better athletic talent inside, but sometimes it's, those are tough teams. So if we want to be successful in these next 3 games, we've got to win that battle.
Now, the Bulldogs plus 21 on the glass. They are plus 21 on the scoreboard, 86-65. The final score earlier this evening in our post-game media coverage. The question was asked of the Zags how they're feeling. So many people have talked about these 3 games in the future for the Bulldogs and kind of the response about getting ready as we head down the home stretch here for the Zags.
I feel like we were pretty lax. Is this team starting to feel a little pressure? I don't know. I feel like we were pretty lax in warm-ups. We get the dancing, doing our thing, our regular deal. I don't think we feel much pressure right now. You know, just go out one day at a time, try and win that day, like always, and then just try and win those games. We're not thinking about the future or anything, just day by day, how can we handle our business to put ourselves in the right position.
That's Graham Ike. The Bulldogs did handle their business, led by the Bulldogs' big man, who had 20 points and 14 rebounds. So the Zags take care of business and still have themselves in position to catch St. Mary's. You're going to need some help from somebody. Gales still have Pepperdine and San Diego on the schedule before the Zags visit Moraga for the final game of the regular season. But the Bulldogs still 2 back after tonight's win. We're going to take a quick break. We've got more post-game coverage from the Child Center next. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCAA.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Papa Murphy's $9.99 extra large New York style pizza
Is a big deal.
So we're going big to tell everyone about it. How big? We're talking action movie big. Carving $9.99 XLNY into a mountainside big. And shouting it from the literal mountaintops big. Because the XLNY is everything you can expect from a classic New York style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven for just $9.99. Order the XLNY pizza at papamurphys.com.
Zags lead wire to wire at the Chiles Center, settling for a 21-point win, 86-65. The final score had that lead up to about 25 with 1:15 to play, but a couple of late buckets for the Pilots. Makes it a 21-point win for the Bulldogs. Well, at First Interstate, it's about supporting our communities and cheering on our teams. Thank you for letting us be your trusted community bank for more than 50 years. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Member FD. IC. So the Bulldogs pick up a nice win here in Portland. Mo, another fantastic night to take care of the basketball. 21 assists on 35 makes, 6 turnovers. And consider that 2 of those turnovers are on Anton Watson on the charges taken by Robertson. So in live action, really, yeah. I mean, you only had 4 turnovers tonight.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's a great trend that we're doing. It started about a month and a half ago, right? And we started noticing the turnover issues slowly go down and the assist numbers go up, and I mean some of that has to do with conference is some of these teams are not as athletic, but at the same time we're just it tells me that we're taking the right shots, we're making the right decisions, and we're being extremely unselfish. So all good things to have going into late February, early March, coming into tournament time.
Well, how about Ryan Nemhard? His last 5 games, that's 43 assists, just 8 turnovers.
Yeah.
As he had 7 assists and no turnovers in tonight's game. And tell you what, credit to Portland tonight, they only turned it over twice. It's a team that turns over about 13 times a game. That helped them maybe not get blown out of this thing tonight. I don't want to say that, I mean, honestly, right, because we got it up to double figures, and it never got ugly, but just 2 turnovers, 14 assists for the Pilots, but not nearly enough as the Bulldogs lead wire to wire. They do so in part to the outstanding play of Nolan Hickman, the Bulldogs junior guard at 19. Coach Pugh growing more and more impressed with his guard out of Seattle.
He's been terrific, man. He's been shooting it great. The ball is coming off his hands really good. We were just talking about that as a staff. It's just looks good every time it leaves his hand. He's been making the right basketball decisions and all our little actions. And started the game with those great passes to Graham, and he's been rock solid, and he's defending well too.
19 points, 3 assists, no turnovers for Nolan as he makes 4 more threes in tonight's game as the Bulldogs pick up the win. We're going to take a quick break here at the Giles Center. Christian Heimel standing by in our Learfield, North Carolina studios for the post-game show score update. Christian, take it away.
Thanks so much, Huddy. Well, it's a good day to be a Zag. Back home at the Candle, 15th ranked women were playing host to San Francisco earlier. GU picks up its 33rd straight home win and its 21st consecutive victory overall with a convincing 74-48 win over the Dons, clinching the top seed in the WCC tournament. To the men's side of things, in the West Coast Conference, only one other game tonight, and it's in Santa Clara. The Broncos welcoming in Loyola Marymount. Lions have dropped 6 straight games to fall to 3-9 in league play. Broncos coming off back-to-back wins over San Diego and Pacific. A win tonight guarantees Santa Clara a top 4 seed in the conference tournament. They're early on in this one, 8 minutes gone by, 11-9 in favor of Santa Clara. Slow night in the top 25, only 2 contests featuring ranked teams. Number 3 Purdue welcomed Rutgers to West Lafayette, looking to rebound after a surprising road loss to Ohio State, which snapped a 9-game winning streak. Boilermakers do that, though, in convincing fashion, dominating the Scarlet Knights 96-68. Zach Edey leads all scores with 25 points, 7 rebounds in just 27 minutes. Currently going on, 21st ranked Washington State traveling to Tucson to take on number 4 Arizona in Pac-12 action. Both teams riding solid win streaks. Cougars have won 7 straight. Wildcats have posted victories in each of their last 6 contests. Wazoo going for the season sweep tonight. They beat the Cats back on January 13th in Pullman by just 3 points. This game right now going to help determine first place in the Pac-12. Arizona currently leading by a half game over the Cougs. 6 minutes gone by, 16-12, Washington State. Checking in on some Zags currently in the NBA. In Cleveland, Jalen Suggs scores 7 points. Magic hold off the Cavs 116-109. Andrew Nembhard, a solid all-around game, 8 points, 6 boards, 5 assists for the Pacers as they beat Detroit 129-115 at home. The Toronto Raptors get 8 points off the bench from Kelly Olynyk, and they trounce Brooklyn 121-93 north of the border. In Oklahoma City, Chet Holmgren, 17 points, 10 boards, 3 blocks in a 129-107 win over the Clippers. Just going final a moment ago in Denver, 2 former teammates going against each other on squads going in opposite directions. Corey Kispert and the Washington Wizards fall to Julian Strawther's Nuggets 130-110. Julian played 4 minutes in his first game back in a couple of days with an ankle injury, while Corey, 12 points in 25 minutes off the bench. And currently going on, another pair of former teammates battling with one another in Sacramento as the San Antonio Spurs travel to take on the Kings. Zach Collins off the bench for San Antonio, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, while Domantas Sabonis, 12 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. Sacramento leads at 78-71, 8 minutes to play in the third. With your scoreboard update, I'm Christian Heimel. Gonzaga sweeps the season series with Portland after an 86-65 road win tonight. Huddy and Mo wrap things up from the Giles Center next. You're listening to Gonzaga men's basketball from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
There was this guy who had a close circle of friends. They did everything together. They threw dinner parties, went on fishing trips, hung out at the beach. They were inseparable. But then one of his friends got in serious debt. He needed money. So he set this guy up, framed him, and had him arrested. All for 30 pieces of silver.
Jesus was sold out. He gets us. All of us. Visit hegetsus.com.
At Wheatland Bank, we're all about relationships, so we couldn't be more proud to announce the relationship of a lifetime. Wheatland Bank is now part of the Glacier family of regional banks. With Glacier at our side, we'll deliver exciting new products and the latest technologies. Still, we're keeping our name, like one of those power couples you read about in the magazines. But you know, still bankers. Wheatland Bank. Relationships you can count on.
Wheatland Bank, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
we are back to wrap things up here on the post-game show. Gonzaga wins in Portland 86-65, the final score. Bulldogs improved to 16-0 on the season when they shoot better than 50% for the field, as they were 51% tonight, 35 out of 69. Well, First Interstate is about supporting our communities and cheering on our teams. Thank you for letting us be your trusted community bank for more than 50 years. First Interstate Bank, built for you, member FDIC. So kudos to the Bulldogs. They take care of business, Mo, and now they'll get a chance to get back at Santa Clara. It was a game the Bulldogs led by 4 with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Front end of a 1-and-1. A little bit later, probably seals that thing.
Yep.
Ball made a couple big plays down the stretch, and they picked up a 1-point win over the Bulldogs. It's a physical, talented Santa Clara team. I mean, they're hanging right around 100 in the net. But we saw them. I mean, they're veterans. They're strong. You talked about, being maybe more athletic, but you're going to have to answer that. And hey, these last 3, they're going to be physical, they're going to be hard fought, and they're going to be spirited. It starts with 4th place Santa Clara on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. Obviously, last game of the season, Anton's the only upperclassman, so I think he's going to have something going on for him. Even though we honored him last year, but he's got to get a video tribute or something. He's had a great career at Gonzaga. And then, people understand what we're playing for. We're still playing for that 2nd place, that guaranteed bye, which is so important in the West Coast Conference tournament. So a lot to play for, and it's been fun stuff.
Yeah, so the Bulldogs and the Broncos, they are going to play on Saturday night, 7 o'clock tip at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Santa Clara currently 17-10, 8-4 in the West Coast Conference play. They're playing right now, as a matter of fact. They had a late start tonight as they are playing host to LMU on Jalen Williams night. Down there in Santa Clara. It was Steve Nash night the night that the Lions knocked off the Zags. And they've got another celebratory night this evening as they are playing host to LMU, and then they'll come up for that 7 o'clock game against the Zags. So, again, 8-4 in West Coast Conference play for Santa Clara. 17-10 overall, the record for the Broncos. So should be a fun one. As Mo mentioned, senior night with Anton Watson playing his final game at the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's Graham Ike with his 8th double-double this season. 20 points, 14 rebounds. It is the 12th time, in the last 15 games. It's 12 of 16 that Graham has scored 19 or more in a game for the Bulldogs. His 12th 20-point game of the season. Nolan Hickman solid again tonight. 19 points, 4 more made threes. His season average has got to be getting right there to 40%. In West Coast Conference play, he's probably up now around 45, 46%. He's really shooting it, Mo, and gaining more and more confidence. Anton Watson, 13. Ben Gregg had 13. Bulldogs turn it over just 6 times in picking up the win. And I don't know, Mo, I'm excited about this group.
Yeah,
they feel like they're growing and they're getting better here. And just keep your head down and keep showing up to work. And here we go. Like you said, get to Vegas. Get some momentum. Get out of that Saturday game. So stay out of it and just keep on rolling.
Yeah, keep on rolling and play your tails off these last 3. And I think we should be favored for the next 2 for sure. And then I think St. Mary's is going to be a coin flip down there, and that's a difficult place to play. But just get in the 2nd place, you get that bye, and then just win 2 games of Vegas, man. That's all you got to do. But great stretch, especially for our fans coming up. There's going to be some fun basketball games. San Francisco's a heck of a talented team. Obviously, we just talked about Santa Clara. Then we know that, we feel like that St. Mary's game got away from us too. Like we controlled the pace of that thing for 31 minutes. So we have a lot to play for. And if those games go our way, the tone of the tenor of how everybody's talking about the team totally changes. So still a lot to play for. I like this group, like I said in the pregame, playing hard, playing together, peaking at the right time. Hopefully it continues.
Bulldogs win at 86-65 at the Childs Center, and that's going to wrap things up for us here from Portland. For Christian Heimel back in our Learfield, North Carolina studios, doing a fantastic job with the broadcast as he does each and every night. For Adam Borson, I'm Tom Hudson, saying thanks a lot for joining us, and have a great night, everybody.
On the Gonzaga Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Gonzaga Bulldogs basketball. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Gonzaga Sports Network.